How can we make sure that the seeds that you sow at home are going to grow and thrive? In my previous video, we spoke about how you can grow seedlings outside with better success. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can grow seedlings indoors and get better success. We'll look at all the different elements that will really help your seedlings to thrive. These are all built on my years of experience growing and making mistakes with my seedlings. I've had some terrible years for seedling growth, and I've worked really hard to develop ideas that are really going to help you in your garden too. Following these steps, you will get a much better germination rate out of your packets of seeds, and you'll enjoy even more crops this year. The first thing I want to talk about is light. When you're growing your seedlings at home, you don't have lots of light. You might have 1 or 2 windows, and how can you make sure that these are the best windows for your seedlings? Seedlings need south-facing windows to thrive. You can grow on southwest and southeast facing windows, but a south-facing window is going to be the most direct sunlight for that seedling. If you grow a seedling on a windowsill that doesn't have enough light, the seedling will grow really long and spindly, and that stem will be very weak. You'll have so much trouble because the seedling will have lost a lot of its strength and it will start to flop over. You can remedy leggy seedlings, and I will make a video about this. However, the best way to avoid this is to grow in direct sunlight. Your seedlings will also need 8 hours of sunlight a day at least. If you can give them 12 hours of sunlight, that will give them even better chance of growing. What do you do if you don't have enough natural light in your home? I highly recommend that you invest in some grow lights. You can find so many different types of grow lights online, and you want one that covers all of the natural light spectrum. You can set them on timers so that they can come up for 8 or 12 hours. They're not expensive to run, and they'll help your crops to thrive and grow really strong. You set them down about 2 inches above the plant, and this means that light will mean that the stem can grow really strong and stout, and the leaves will get really nice and big and full. And that is exactly what you want for a seedling. The next thing we'll focus on is heat. Heat is one of the trickiest things to get right. If your flat is not at 18 to 20 degrees naturally, then your seedlings won't come through, or they'll take a very long time to germinate. Seedlings need a temperature of 20 to 25 degrees to germinate. The soil needs to be this warm for the seed to break through and push out. If it doesn't get this warm temperature, it won't get that signal to grow, or you'll have seedlings that come through but they're struggling and they'll take a long time to get to where you want them to be. You can pop your seeds next to a radiator to warm them enough so that they germinate. You can also put them in an airing cupboard or a warm space to help them germinate through. However, to get them to thrive, if your flat or your house isn't very warm, I would recommend buying a heat mat or a heated propagator. I used these to great success last year, and what they do is they keep the seedlings at a constant temperature. What you do want to watch with heat mats is that you don't encourage your seedlings to grow too fast and don't give them enough light. So you need to use a grow light and a heat mat at the same time, or make sure that they have a really good south-facing window. If you haven't done so already, I'd love to have you along for my growing journey. Why not hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell? We've talked about light and heat. Now we're going to talk about compost. Compost is another really important factor in getting really good germination rates for your seeds. If your compost is not quite the right way, then it can have a huge impact on how the germination of your seeds happens, and also how well they grow as they come up. Peat-free compost can be a bit hit and miss. However, I recommend looking at places like Dalefoot Compost for their wool compost, Koya from Wilco, or from some of the other brands that will do a big block of Koya, and you can work this in with some water and it makes really nice light fluffy, fairly light in terms of food compost that will really help your seedlings to grow. To recap on what we've talked about today, light, heat and soil are all 3 really important things to consider when you're sowing seeds indoors. You will get better germination rates if you choose a south-facing window, or you provide a grow light to give artificial light to your seedlings. You will get better germination rates if you introduce a heat mat or a heated space to allow them to get good temperatures for the soil. And you'll get better germination rates if you use the right compost and soil. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it useful and inspiring. Drop me a comment down below. What are your favourite seed starting tips to help you get better germination rates? If you'd like to check out any more of my videos, you can find them over here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!